If you had a chance to pick one of these 3 allotment plots, an overgrown wilderness, a plot ready for planting, or a plot with head-high weeds, which would you pick? And do first appearances really matter? As a plant scientist, I'll show you which land is best to grow healthy, high-yield plants. And throughout this video, I'll keep hinting at which of these 3 allotments I chose. You might be surprised at my choice. But more on my allotment choice later. First, here's what you need to look for in your ideal allotment. Now, a harsh reality. Most people give up their allotments because they can't look after them. So it's all too common that a vacant allotment plot may be rather wild or neglected. But if you can look past this superficial overlay of neglect, you'll see, deep down, the hidden, undiscovered potential. Did the wilderness plot have enough potential for me to overlook the neglect? Stay watching. So, to choose an allotment plot, you need to think about 2 distinct factors. First, the human side, and second, the plant health side, or if you like, the sciencey bits. On the human side, consider, is the allotment far from home? Closer is always better. Is parking easy if you need it? Does the allotment site have a secure gate? How big is the plot? If you're short on time, opt for a half or quarter-sized plot. Does the plot have a shed or a greenhouse? Is there a water supply near the plot? Is there a lot of waste or rubbish already on the plot, and can you remove it? And lastly, chat to existing plot holders to get a feel for the site. Overall, you need to decide, does the allotment site and the plot work for you? Now, for the more objective science of allotments. As a plant scientist, here's where I can answer. Will your plot successfully grow healthy, high-yield plants? In the UK, we rightly soak up what little sunshine we have, and so do our plants. Most common fruits and vegetables, such as beans, courgettes, tomatoes, need sunshine and warmth to grow productively and well. In the UK, south-facing allotment plots get the most sunshine, followed by southwest and southeast. Avoid north-facing plots, unless you want a cool, shady, very limited growing site. Did I pick the allotment with the most sunshine? Maybe. We've covered sunshine and light. Time to look at the edges or borders of your potential allotment plot. Are there any large trees within a few meters of the plot? Unfortunately, the ground underneath trees is often pretty hostile for growing your typical UK fruit and vegetables. Trees cast lots of shade and absorb huge amounts of water and nutrients from the soil, which makes it much harder to grow high-yield, healthy plants. Of course, the plot may have fruit trees growing on it, and depending on the size and location, these can also cast some shade. But more on fruit trees later. So, try to avoid large trees right at the edge of your allotment. However, small hedges are helpful, particularly on the north end of your allotment, where they won't cast significant shade. Hedges provide shelter and protection from harsh sweeping winds, especially near the coast or on hilly ground, and harsh winds are tough on plants and tough on greenhouses. Hedges also provide homes for wildlife such as birds, beetles, bats and hedgehogs. These predators prey on pesky plant-partaking pests like caterpillars and aphids. Did I look for a plot with wildlife potential? I would hope so. Now we've covered sun and wind, let's look at soil. Often, soil will be similar across the whole allotment site. But, if you can, have a cheeky dig of at least 1 spade length into the soil. Great soil is crumbly and deep dark brown in colour. Dark brown soil is a telltale sign the soil is full of organic matter. Organic matter which healthy plants love. If you spot an earthworm or two wriggling about. That's also a great sign of healthy soil. If you can, avoid soil with large amounts of rubble, or even worse, old carpets or plastic below the surface. Avoid plots with visible flooding, puddles of standing water. Flooded soil is low in oxygen, and plant roots need oxygen to grow, just like we do. Let's talk weeds. When you look at a new plot, it's often hard to see the plot for the weeds. But don't fear the weeds. Weeds like dandelion, dock, dead nettles, and chickweed show you that the soil is rich and fertile. Of course, some weeds take more time and effort to control, such as couch grass, brambles, bindweed, and horsetail. But if you're patient, even these tough perennial weeds can be covered, smothered, and conquered in 3 years. No digging needed. Yes, weed can. So you shouldn't fear most weeds. But unless you want to feel like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, avoid plots with invasive weeds like Japanese knotweed, that near indestructible terminator of the weed world. So now you know, I'm not put off by a weed-infested allotment. Finally, take a good look amongst the weeds. Are there already productive plants on the plot? If you pick a plot with fruit trees, fruit bushes like currants or gooseberries, or even raspberries, then you're already ahead. Even neglected fruit trees can easily be pruned back to a productive state, and they're an asset to any plot. So, as I promised at the start, which plot did I choose? The site manager thought I'd jump at the chance to take on a plot that was well tended and weed-free. But when I looked up, I saw a magnificent old oak tree looming above me. Like I said earlier, large trees raise these red flags, signs of shade, poor soil nutrition, and drought. And tidy as that well-kept plot was, I wanted a little more potential for wildlife. By contrast, the full wilderness plot was really too much work for me, even though it had loads of sunshine and ticked many sciencey boxes. So yes, I chose the plot with the head-high weeds. Although this weedy, overgrown allotment plot still needed quite a lot of initial work, the plot ticks boxes for sunshine, soil fertility, room for improvement, and space for wildlife. If you don't get to pick your allotment plot, don't worry. You can make a success of growing almost any patch of land. Always remember, an allotment is nature's big canvas, so paint it with all the love you can, just like life. Wishing you healthy plants and happy gardening.